Hey there, welcome to episode two of the reinvention or reissue
Yeah.
of Watch Soup. I am your co-host, Bobby Legs, here with my buddy Clayton from Watchdog Podcast. It occurred to me, when we were at the end of our last live stream. I didn't have you plug your podcast. So please, before we get started, why don't you just tell everybody about your podcast? Who maybe people haven't seen your us before, and they would love to. I mean, I love your podcast. So
Oh, well,
please.
thank you. I actually did an episode in January where I said I was going to quit because it was overwhelming and everything. And then 6 months later, I pulled a George Costanza,
Yeah,
showed up to work like that never happened. So the podcast is back. I've done 3 episodes back, trying to
awesome.
be somewhat consistent. So yeah, just kind of just me right now. Hopefully, get some guests on when I get more into the flow of things. But yeah, just me talking for 30 to 40 minutes. I don't know how appealing that sounds, but yeah, I try to think of interesting topics that the thing with the doing a podcast, I think, is you want the topics to be evergreen, something that like 3 years down the road, if somebody finds the podcast, it's not outdated, like they
Yeah,
can listen to. Right. So I try to keep that in mind. So it's just kind of goofy topics, not much, just sort of freestyling, very laid back, and
yeah.
hopefully you enjoy it.
Who have you had on the last couple of weeks? Have you had anybody on, or is
No,
it again just
just
topic,
me
just
by
topic?
myself.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
It does.
You're up though.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
the Yep.
Definitely. Does Sanjay still hold the record for the most appearances?
Probably, I think so. And
Yeah,
then you're up there, and Keith's up there. Keith's been
he's
on
up
quite a
there.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? Jeff
McMahon,
McMahon's been on a
Jeff
few
McMahon.
times.
Yeah,
Bruce
yeah,
Williams was on once.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you
Yeah.
got quite the lineup there. That's awesome. Anyway, hey, what do you have on wrist today?
So took it off for this, but brand new. Finally got it after ordering it a few months ago. The Club Sport Neomatic from Nomos. It's
Excellent.
never gonna. But yeah, the Dune colorway. Really great watch. I mean, it's so thin. It just wears great. I did a podcast about it actually. This. I released yesterday, and the bracelet isn't my thing. The polished center links I don't think really go with the watch. So the nylon, I bought a cheapy nylon strap, but I'm going to get the two-piece nylon OEM, I think, from Nomos here in a
Hmm.
little while. It's about $130. You have to buy the clasp separately.
Oh,
So that's how they get you. Yeah.
yeah,
So, but in the meantime, I'll just wear it on this. But oh yeah, it's a perfect summer watch. Yeah, really, really just fun to click through that button at 2 o'clock is very satisfying to press. And
yeah.
right now I have the main time is my home time, and then I have the London on my sub dial. So
No,
yeah.
that's awesome. I mean, and look. I know many a watch collector who have been opining for this timepiece, and can't wait to get their hands on it. And that's love that you're like
These
one of
were
the
hard to
first to get it.
get, the
Yeah,
the limited
absolutely.
editions. I mean, I texted Jay when she was over in Switzerland from Topper, when she was in Switzerland, for Watches and Wonders, and I asked for the jungle first. This was my
Yeah.
second choice, but the green one was first, and she said no, that's already spoken for. They were only getting one
Wow.
of each. Most authorized dealers were only getting one of each. So
Yeah.
and now they're trading. A Nomos is trading for over retail on Chrono 24, which is kind of funny. But
Kind of crazy, right?
yeah.
Uh, I got the Citizen, the 365 diver. It's
Oh
hard to tell
yeah.
here, but this is the red dial.
Yep. I see it.
And I picked this up off their eBay store, right? So this
Oh,
was like,
cool.
yeah. So it. Look, I mean, it's refurbished or whatever they call it. I think it was probably just returned because like maybe I'm thinking maybe the
That's
person
fairly new.
yeah, it's really it's big, right? It's big.
Yeah.
But I love it's so chunky. The only thing is like you don't get you get this generic box. You don't get the kind of
Oh, the
like
oxygen tank.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
or not the oxygen tank, but the other one that looks like a Pelican case or something like
Oh,
that.
right. Yeah, the a
And
lot
I
of the
think
Pro
that's what this
Masters
comes
come
in.
in. Right.
But like for like over man, this was like 60% off retail.
Ah,
From
cool.
that store. So like,
Yep.
that's I almost like religiously go on there every day to see what has popped up. I already picked up like two what I consider gems from their eBay store in the last month. So yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
very
I'll have to
happy about
check
this
that
one.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yet another website to go to
eBay,
potentially
yeah. I mean, like
raise money.
yeah, the eBay store. I think it's officialwatches.com. Official Watches. That's the name of their eBay store. Official Watches.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, no, no, it's great. I mean, like, um, you're not going to find too much of the high end. Although last week they had one of those washi dial ones.
Yep.
With the black DLC coated one and the gold tone, like it's normally like a $4,500 watch, and it was like there for 1,600, and then there was like another coupon that was available, so you could have gotten it for
Wow.
1,400. Somebody picked up that watch for $1,400,
That's
and
crazy. Yeah.
that's a crazy deal there. Anyway, love the watch. All right, hey, let's say hello to the chat, and then we'll jump right into the soup. Okay, Keith is here. Hey, what's up, Keith? Good to see you. Maison, greetings and salutations, watch folk. 50 fathoms on the wrist tonight. Also, why did Bobby not look his usual happy self in the thumbnail? Yeah, no, I looked pretty serious in that thumbnail. I was very I was very serious when I posed for that. Peter C is here. Hey, Peter, good to see you. Rick, what's up, Rick? How are you?
Hello, Rick.
Steve Time Hill, his year. What's going on? Jeffrey O'Neill. Hello from Boise. All right, all the way in Utah and Idaho.
Oh, the
Junior
new
Black Bay
68.
68. Nice. Von Cruel is here. What's up, Von? He's wearing his GMWB 5000 TCC-1 today. That's a titanium square. Okay. Marceau is here wearing his HYT H0.
Nice.
And watch Sixto. Hello, Bobby, Clayton, and everyone else here on my wrist today is a Seiko SARY 057. Well, welcome, watch Sixto. Okay, let's get into it this evening. Pulling it up, and hey, you're gonna lead off today, Clayton.
Sounds good.
Tell us about the video that you picked.
Yeah, so I thought this was an interesting interview. It's a 25-minute long video. I'm just going to skim over it, but I recommend watching it. It looks like Blancpain is sort of doing a long overdue image overhaul,
Mm,
trying to be more fun, playful. We get into that in the video, but yeah, it's kind of interesting to see. Hopefully, it's not too late. I think it's long overdue. They probably needed to do this a long time ago, and hopefully, Swatch Group starts doing this with some other brands, Breguet, and some other brands they seem to just ignore and leave by the wayside. So kind of fun to see. But yep, Time and Tide. This is Andrew McCutcheon here in the video. He's with the Blancpain Vice President of Marketing. We're just going to call him Alexios. Can't remember his last name, and I'm not going to pronounce it or do it
yeah.
justice anyway. So yes, the VP of Marketing, Alexios, is with Time and Tide to face the music and respond to comments on Time and Tide's latest video covering the new Blancpain 38mm 50 Fathoms. Boy, they're opening a lot of boutiques and stores here, Time and Tide. So they're at the London studio for a big Blancpain event. So he took some time with the vice president before the event to chat and yeah, answer to a bunch of angry watch enthusiasts in the comments. Blancpain's in the news, which is kind of crazy to say. They're never really in the news, so they are capitalizing on this attention with this interview. Andrew asks why it's taken so long for Blancpain to start introducing smaller sizes, and then they go into a little of the history. Blancpain 50 Fathoms goes way back to 1953, obviously with the Submariner right there, neck and neck. When Alexios joined the company in 2011, the 45mm was the only size they had of the Blancpain 50 Fathoms, and they didn't even have the bathyscaphe yet. That came a couple years later, according to him in this video. And something I guess I had forgotten or maybe didn't know, that Mark Hayek brought the 50 Fathoms back in 03. So it's sort of, it's all been reintroduced for about 22 years. It wasn't in production for a long time. They said from the 80s till 03. So 20 to 30 year span where it was not in their lineup. When Jean-Claude Biver purchased Blancpain, he didn't bring the 50 Fathoms back. Alexio said the 38mm broadens the audience. It's for men, women. So it's just a watch for everyone. And so was the 42mm in his eye. They also came out with the two mother of pearl versions at 38, which everybody was confused. Like, why are they doing this and not a standard version? Then like a week or two later, they came out with this standard one. He said today, the 50 Fathoms makes up about 1/3 of Blancpain's total sales.
Mhm.
Now it's common
Mm.
time. Now it's time to face the music here. This watch, the 38 millimeter standard version, is $19,000 ish on bracelet. I think like 16,000
Yeah.
something US. Um, so Andrew asks Alexi, hey, respond. Lots of negative comments about price here on this video. What do you have to say for yourself? And he says, he doesn't really apologize for it. He says the finishing is top notch, takes skill not only on the case but also on the movement. There's 100 hours power reserve. He holds Blancpain in the same regard as brands like Vacheron and AP. He thinks these are actually priced a bit low in comparison when you talk about those other brands. The movement, like I said, is technically superior with the finishing. It's robust. It's finished well. He doesn't see the fuss over the price when compared to similar brands. And then he said, the fact that Blancpain isn't necessarily held in that regard as the Holy Trinity brands, or included in those kind of discussions, is not a quality problem, but it's a marketing problem.
Mm.
Apples to apples. It's his job to change it. It's his job. He's the VP of marketing after all, so he's the one who has to, and maybe he's the one behind this resurgence. Um, and then Andrew compares the 50 Fathoms to the Submariner, which it's often compared to because they were kind of one and two, depending on who you talk to, which one came first. Uh, he says, the sub is an industrialized product. Rolex over delivers on quality, but it's, machine produced. Not many human hands touch it during the manufacturing process. Um, Opposite of the 50 Fathoms. Hand finishing, completely different manufacturing process. So it is a luxury product when compared to the more industrialized manufacturing of the Rolex Submariner. Um, Andrew asked him then about the movements. The 1150 is in this 38 millimeter because it was a smaller movement, so it could fit the 38 millimeter case size. There are criticisms of the movement as well. It's non-hacking. It's 3 hertz. Alexi thinks the quality is the same as the 1315, which is in the larger versions. It's just smaller to fit that case. 3 hertz also equals a longer power reserve, so
Mhm.
that's how you get the 100 hours of power reserve. You're not going to get that with a high beat or something like that. It's going to obviously be a smaller power reserve. Then another comment said, why dance around 40 millimeters? You have 42, you have 45, 42, 38, but no 40. He said the original reintroduction in '03 was a limited edition of 40. But he said, people debate size, like a 39 would be good, a 42 would be good. Everybody has different preferences and wrist sizes. So it's hard. It's not a general rule. And he said then they got into what we've talked about before and what I certainly agree with. Lug to lug is often more important than case diameter, right?
Mhm.
Everybody freaked out about the 45 millimeter cubitus, but the lug to lug was also 45. So I got to try that on and I thought it wore better than the large Santos. So don't be scared necessarily by case diameter. It's lug to lug is oftentimes the most important thing. He says you have to try on. I think if a lot of people tried on the cubitus, for instance, they would have different opinions on it than just seeing a spec sheet necessarily. Um, he said when people tried on the 42, they actually still bought the 45. They went into the boutique, but just having 45 did not bring people into the boutique. So having a variety of sizes brings them in because at 45 they're just scared off by it, and so they're not even going to go and try it on. But he thinks the having a wider variety of sizes actually brings people in to try them on, and then they decide on the 45 anyway. So um, let's see. And also movement sizing issues also determine case size. Like they have to do like a spacer to do a 40 with this movement that's in the 38 now. And then Andrew asked about the Blancpain Swatch collaboration. Why did you do that? They want to do something special for the 70th anniversary of the 50 Fathoms. Blancpain isn't perceived as a loud enough or fun brand. So this collaboration was a chance to change that. And he thinks it's been successful. Alexios thinks it's been successful despite all the criticism. It brought many people to the brand, many new people to the brand, and yeah, people have learned about the history of the brand, and now especially with these new sizes too. That new pink one, I thought the same thing. That new pink mother of pearl, that I think is a little out of touch with what female collectors and females who
Hmm.
wear watches want. I think it's a little too on the nose. But Andrew thought that was a Swatch collaboration, and so did I when I first saw it. But Alexio said, with these unexpected releases, we truly can be a brand for everyone, and everyone can wear it, women, men. So that's about it. That's all I have to say on the video. Went a little long there. Sorry, but
No, 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 no worries. Hey, let's catch up with some of the chat, then I'll give my thoughts in. Hey, Eric's here. Hobby Bobby coming in with some hot takes. Everyone just accepts the line that Blancpain are highly finished. Okay, so we'll see what Hobby Bobby has next. Cheers, all jumping in late, no problem. Ms. Nine, I can't see it, and I think he's talking about the movement here. It's because their movements are so small and have rotors covering it. I guess he's talking about the finishing of the
right,
movement. Von Krul mentions that he prefers the 3 hertz to higher. I don't like the frantic escapement, and it's more wear to run it faster. Hobby Bobby chiming in again. Also, the 3K steel deploy improves Blancpain are overpriced. Easy apples to apples to say that dude's got a gold bull esser. And yep, Maison
yeah,
bringing up this point that these watches, the 45 he had mentioned, that it wears, and he owns one, wears smaller than the 45, which leads me to believe that maybe that 38 also wears a little bit smaller too, and then therefore, like, who is this aimed for other than to get people to come in and then end up buying the 45, right?
right,
For me, um, I never I don't ever see myself spending 16K to 19K on a dive watch. To me, um, I do not equate um, high end finishing, 100-hour power reserve, movement finishing, to something that is meant to be a tool like a dive watch. Okay, I get it, right? I mean, none of us are really going to go diving on these things, or not many of us will. But for me, you can say all you want about all the high end stuff this watch has and how it should compete.
right.
Blancpain should compete with these the trinity of watches out there. Um, it just doesn't it doesn't sell anything to me. It's just not for me. You know what I mean? Like I
Yep.
just like I would go, if anything, I would go for the 45, because it's iconic, right? But that's it. Any other variation, not interested in it. And look, I like to see Blancpain succeed. I feel like them, and we were talking a little bit about this before the stream, and Breguet. We kind of kind of root for, especially Breguet, right?
Yeah,
And it's just it seems to be like more of a marketing issue than anything else in regards to getting their name out there. I mean, it is a saturated business, right? There's so many brands out there, right? There's so many of these like legacy brands, that just have this history, and so does Blancpain. But Blancpain seems to have just lost it, itself in the eyes of the consumer, because when we think of high end watches, we think of like Patek, we think of Rolex, whether it's not, we can agree that it's not maybe at the same level as Patek, but we think of Rolex, we think of AP and all these other brands. Anyway, that's my take on it.
yep.
Um, how about you, Clayton? Like, what's your take?
Lot of BS in here. He is the VP of marketing, so
Yeah, yeah.
you gotta lay it on. I think there's a reason the Holy Trinity brands don't do a diver.
Yeah.
There's really, who, like you said, no one really cares about hand finishing on a diver and wants to pay 20 grand for a diver. Like, that is going to tank in value the minute you leave the boutique anyway. Like, I think there's a reason you don't see a Vacheron dive watch. They make some sporty watches, but
Yeah.
I don't know that anyone really wants to spend this much unless you're a real fan of the brand. uh, and then I think it's just the same audience you always had. Like, I think it's cool what they're doing and they're trying. I give them credit for that. Like I said, I think it's about time that they try something like this, and hopefully it works out for them. But the pricing's out of touch.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know what the markup is on these,
No, I
but I
mean, I
imagine
think
there's a hefty one.
no, I think perhaps the pricing is spot on, but who wants to pay? I certainly don't want to pay that much for a dive watch.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's just me. I mean, like, there's other people out there who do not feel the same, and that's just, I got a $300, citizen on here. That to me is just, as it's not as good as it gets, but it's pretty damn good. You know what I mean? And that makes me happy, and what makes me happy may not make somebody else happy. I'm certainly not comparing the two. This is just where I'm coming from, right? So, hey, let's
I
see.
thought it was
Yeah,
one of the most disappointing. Maybe it was just the one I tried. I tried it on the watch store, and I like
yeah.
played with the bezel. I was not. I thought the bezel felt like plasticky. I was
Ah,
just not overly impressed. I was with my buddy John, and we were both
yeah.
like, "Whoa!" I was wearing my Submariner, and we were like, "Wow, the sub actually feels a lot more refined."
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Bruce G, glad Watch Soup is back. Oh, glad, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
Mr. Finney, he says, I couldn't stop laughing at Andrew saying Blanc Pan the whole video. That's probably something I would do too. It was hard to, it is a hard amount to spend, but compared to the sub, you can actually get one. That's true.
Yeah.
Although the Rolex availability situation is easy. Hey, KR Joy is here wearing his Geo Synchron Panorama tonight. I read them. I read them, guys. Also, you can get deep discounts on PV anyway. Hmm.
Oh, yeah. What is the? I wouldn't know. I've never gone in with intentions to buy one. So yeah, I wonder what the discount is.
For a crazy diver, I get a Peacock Serbion. AP has a diver. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. They do. Yeah.
It's like a diver chrono, isn't it? Or
Right.
no?
Or it has the internal bezel.
Yeah.
The
Right. Right.
overseas, right? No,
The
not no overseas. Oh God, that's Vacheron.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
late.
Uh,
What's it called? I can't think of it right now.
the 50 Fathoms is way better and cheaper. Hey, Waven, what's going on? How you doing, buddy? Um, all right. Any last words? Are we good here, Clayton?
I think so.
Okay. Let's move on to the video that I selected this evening, and it is from Watch Finder and Co.
Offshore.
Watches
Thank you. Thank you.
offshore. There you go.
Offshore.
Yep.
There. I knew it started with an O. I just couldn't find
Um,
it.
watches I can't stop thinking about. Right? Not
Yes.
not me, but I mean, what is the guy's name? I forget the guy's name. Do we know what
Oh,
the guy's name is?
it's the new Talking Hands guy.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Talking Hands. Yeah.
Yeah. He
Um,
was with him in videos though before, right?
I think
He
so.
was the
I think I get it.
sidekick guy, wasn't he?
Is it? Okay, I think you're right. I
Yeah.
think you might be right.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody in the chat will tell us. Anyway, his top picks for 2025, the first half, and this is a good. Obviously we just finished the first half of the year, so this is actually a good, review of some of the releases here. Some of them that I'm going to mention are in my top picks as
Tom.
well.
Tom is the
Um,
guy's name.
should we, Tom? Yeah. So I'm gonna go one by one, and Clayton, maybe we can comment, on each timepiece. So, okay, so the first watch that Tom brings up, is a standout release of the year so far for him. Comes from Grand Seiko with the most accurate watch ever, with a newly updated spring drive 9R65, and he says plus or minus 20 seconds a year. I believe that's what he said. That I'm not sure where he's getting like the most accurate watch, wristwatch out there, but I believe that there's watches out there that have a more um, or tighter tolerance to that on a yearly. Anyway, I could be wrong. I may have heard him wrong, incorrectly. Anyway, the UFA stands for ultra fine accuracy. The dial is reminiscent of frosted covered trees. We know Grand Seiko. I mean, anything with nature, they will exploit the heck out of it. 37 millimeter titanium case. Newly developed three-fold clasp with micro adjustment, which is, that's a sign of relief there by a lot of Grand Seiko fans out there, because we've always heard that their bracelets, are a little tricky, especially without the fine adjustments that they can do. So this was a standout pick of the year, and frankly, Clayton, I must have missed this one.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of releases, right? And Grand Seiko, I feel like I'm like, constantly bombarded with Grand Seiko releases, especially when they come out with a release. It's just like bam, bam, bam. I think I missed this one.
This was Watches and Wonders. This is it is I think probably the most accurate ever because most spring drives are 15 to 20 seconds per month, and this one's
Okay,
per
so many.
year.
Okay, so,
Yeah,
so if this
yeah,
is referring to the spring drive, this is the most accurate spring drive ever.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Um,
okay.
most accurate. It's not a traditional quartz, so maybe outside of like high accuracy quartz, it's probably the most. But yeah. So this one and this one is spring drive's accurate, so
Hmm.
a big deal. What I'm most excited about, which is probably wrong, is the micro adjust.
Yeah,
It's only going to they're not going to add it to the rest of the lineup as of right now. They just have it on this. So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
everybody, yeah, the movement, that's good. But yeah, micro adjust finally. So that was the big takeaway. And I think like Grad Seiko Pierce were like, come on, you're more excited about micro adjust than this amazing, accuracy achievement. But
Right, right.
no, so this was actually a pretty big talker during Watches and Wonders. So
Okay.
maybe like what it was
Wow.
named up there with like top three, top five releases.
I must have
So
been asleep on this one. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention to Grand Seiko.
my
That
spring
that could
drive,
be
I have
possible.
the Seiko, that SNR, and
Yes.
that's an older version of spring drive that Grand Seiko doesn't even use anymore. And that thing, the most I wore it was like 3 weeks when I got it, and it didn't deviate at all. So, I mean, it was already pretty dang accurate.
Yeah. We've been saying that his
Yeah,
spring drive is accurate within 10 seconds a
right.
year. Just lucky, I guess. Okay. Next time piece that now he mentions about like 15 or 16 watches. I only selected 10 because I just felt like I was gonna go too crazy with it. And I think
Right.
it's gonna take too long. So, the second one that he selected is a Vacheron Constantin, the most complicated wristwatch ever. 41 complications, over 500 components, and 13 patents. He's got the Westminster minute repeater, 5 rare astronomical functions, world time, tourbillon, blah blah blah, 45 millimeter case diameter, 14.9, just under 15 millimeters thick. It's a wonder that they're able to fit so many complications and pieces on this watch. And this is a beauty, Clayton. Just love when watchmakers, test the boundaries of,
Oh
of,
yeah.
of what is possible. What say you on this one?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, we'll never in a million years be able to afford something like this, but boy, oh boy, do I appreciate it.
Absolutely. This is the kind of timepiece that, whatever kind of event, like a watch time or
Oh yeah.
or whatnot. Like, I hope that I get to see is just a glimpse of it and be in the same room with
Right.
something like this, right? Um, okay, next is the Tudor Blancpain 54, the Lagoon Blue. Uh, Tudor experimenting a little more risque with some of these colors here, right? And you have this the fine link brace, the five link is it? 5 link bracelet here
Yeah.
on this one as well. I'm a big fan of the 58. This is a 54. Have you ever tried on a 54, Clayton?
I have. Yep.
And I know you've tried on the 58 as well.
Yep.
Any big difference for you? I mean, I know it's slightly smaller, but is it that big of a deal?
No, it's not that big of a
Yeah.
deal at all. I thought wore great. Thought wore fine. Yep, I tried it on. We actually, my wife and I have this watch on order, this Tudor
Mm,
here, because she loves Tiffany blue watches.
yeah.
She has a Tiffany blue Soyosa. She has a Tiffany blue
Oh
like
wow.
Timex, and oh gosh, so like a month ago, Topper on their pre-owned had the Tiffany blue Rolex OP.
Mm.
And I jokingly, because she's talked about that watch before, and I jokingly said to her, like, here it's here for sale. She's like, should we do it? I was like, you got to be kidding me. What? She's like, I think we should. Like, you're nuts. You realize this is a $6,000 watch. And she's like, I really want it. And I was like, you're crazy. So I went to get it. It was sold. Thank God. Oh my
Ah.
God. Thank God. We would have regretted that. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I don't know what she had been drinking. She was traveling to visit her mom, so she
Yeah.
was like she hates flying. So I think she had a few gin and tonics and was
Yeah.
feeling pretty good. So
Yeah.
thank goodness somebody bought it. But anyway, then this one came out, and she follows like watch brands on Instagram, and she saw it. She's like, I think we can maybe settle for this one. So I have it on order.
Yeah. And that's an awesome
We're gonna
gift.
split the price, and she'll probably wear it all the time.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, the dial, this colorway. with the steel insert here, or the steel colored insert. I mean, it feels a little bit more feminine, I have to say. So I
Hmm.
think, for a woman's timepiece, to slide into some sort of Black Bay Tudor kind of divey kind of watch, this is just like the happy entry point, I
Yeah.
think. So good on for Miss Podcast over here, Miss.
She doesn't typically like dive watches or watches with like bezels at all.
Uh,
She actually usually does. It usually turns her off. But I think maybe there's no dashes, and maybe the fact that it's steel and like shiny. I don't know.
will you have you ever had her on the podcast?
No, no,
Would she? Would you?
She
Would you
wouldn't
have
really
her?
like
That actually's got.
it.
Sounds like she's got quite a collection now.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, I mean, she has a nice. She likes Timex watches, so she buys them quite often. They do a line with this female designer, and she's bought like a bunch of those, and they actually like they go for over list on
Oh wow.
eBay because they sell out pretty quick. She's not like certain ones of them, and then she does not buy those, but
Yeah.
she has like six of them.
Nice.
Yeah, she has
Nice.
many more watches than I do.
You should have her on.
And she doesn't get depressed if she doesn't wear them often. She's not a collector. She just
Right.
likes to
Right.
buy
Right.
things.
Or,
So
or obsessed like we are.
she's
Right.
way less neurotic and obsessed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Tom brings up a couple of Omegas. First, the Omega Speedmaster Pilot. Handsome looking timepiece over here, and then one of my favorites of the year,
Yeah.
and that is the Seamaster, the no date gold, bronze, and burgundy bezel. Just kind of gives me some Black Bay burgundy bezel vibes on this one
Hmm.
because of burgundy, obviously. And then you have like this that bronze gold tone. I just love the look of this watch. I'm not a huge Seamaster fan, and I know you're not, and it's mostly because of the bracelet, I feel, right, or just the way it wears
The bezel.
the bezel,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah. I love the way it
Uh,
looks, though. I think it's a dang sexy watch. But with the things I like with dive watches, it doesn't deliver. But oh, it's
yeah.
the best looking. I think it's such a good looking watch.
Yeah. No, here I knock the 50 Fathoms, right, for being like, too fancy for a dive watch. This is way too fancy for a dive
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I'm okay with this one. I know I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite.
We all
Um,
are, man.
what do you think about the pilot, the Speedmaster pilot?
That doesn't do it too much for me. That was one I just sort of glazed over when it came out and like, yeah, another Speedmaster. But
Yeah,
that Seamaster is yeah,
it's nice.
yeah,
Hey,
that's real
Colin's here.
sharp.
What's up, buddy?
Hello.
Actually got some time on the watch, time to watch YouTube. All right, buddy. Colin had sent me a picture earlier today. It was a snapshot, a screenshot of um, the original crew that we had doing the live streams
Oh yeah.
um, during quarantine. Those are the days, man. Those are the days.
There is
Um,
something I miss about I don't wish a pandemic on the world, obviously, but there was something about those couple months there, those first couple months that was
yeah,
kind of everybody was home and I don't
yeah,
know, it just felt like
yeah,
we were all sort of in this thing together and there was a
yeah,
camaraderie. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I hear you. I
There
hear
were
you.
less people out on less traffic and
Yeah, yeah,
everybody, yeah, it was just better.
yeah. Okay, moving on to Seiko now, the Marine Master Professional. One piece titanium construction, 600-meter water resistance on this one with a new L8L45 movement, 72-hour power reserve. It incorporates the Spron, the sophisticated metals with highly durable and corrosion resistance on this one. Um, yeah, I mean, just a big old watch here, Clayton.
Yeah.
Love the Marine Master, especially the older ones. I do like this one as well. And also, oh, not there. Also, they came out with the two heritage divers with the silver and the blue dials, the wave pattern GMT functionality. Those I like as well. Um, hey, Seiko always seems to, put out something really, really good every year, right? And to me, this watch and the other two that I mentioned, no exceptions. I know they have other watches that they put out, but really, really like these. What do you think, Clayton?
I love this. Yep, it reminds me of the SNR. This is titanium, you said, right?
Yes, yeah, this one
Yeah. So
specifically, yeah,
this will wear like my SNR. So again, this is a watch you should try on because the numbers really scare you.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that SNR, my like I have slightly smaller than 7-inch wrist, and boy, it wears great.
Yeah,
You might bang it on things, but in terms of just like you forget it's on,
yep,
they're very light for as
yep,
thick and imposing as they look. Went
yeah,
to a watch meetup a couple weeks ago, and everybody saw it and was expecting it to be this like huge chunk, and was like, "Whoa, this is crazy light." So yeah, it was actually like everybody loved that watch. It's really impressive. So this will be right up there with that.
yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
it's a
Agreed.
little, it's again a scary price for a Seiko, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, in retrospect, COVID was the first thing in a series of shows.
yes.
Yeah, for sure. Kerja looking for Wilson. I think he's doing fine. He's doing good. Jalopy Joe, J Joe, what's going on? How you doing? Oh man, 6 hour movement. I guess I don't know how much I don't like.
No, 8L35 on
Yeah,
these
on this
on
one.
this
Yeah,
one, on this one, yeah.
yeah. Hey, Mr. Mac, joining the YouTube, becoming a YouTube member.
Hey.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay. Moving on now. This one coming up here. This is a very special watch. One of my favorites. And I'll never be able to get this one anyway. But Tom says the Odysseus is the honey gold Elongazon, the brown dial, limited to 100 pieces. I love this watch, man. I am not the biggest Odysseus fan. I mean, I appreciate it. I certainly didn't like it when it first came out. I kind of grew to like it over the years. Um, Elongazon, however, they do such a great job with this honey gold. I've seen it in other models, and when this came out, I was like, yes, yes, this is fucking gorgeous. Oops, I dropped the F bomb. And look at that
Oh
movement side.
man,
Oh,
look at that.
gotta love the movement side. This is one of my favorite releases of the year. Of course, I'll never be able to afford it or get it, or even if I could afford it, it'd probably be impossible to get anyway. But wow, it's gorgeous. What do you think, Clayton?
I love that gold tone. I would wear it this side up because, to be quite frank, that dial doesn't do it for me really. But this is, I mean, what a stunner. I mean, gosh, if I had the opportunity and could afford it, why not?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so the dial, I don't know. It's not. I'm not
I
sure it's
like
my
it now.
favorite design. Do you? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I do.
yeah,
I do now. I do now.
yeah. But
Um,
I love that gold tone, the honey gold, and
oh yeah,
I mean the movement is just, yeah. I mean, like you get lost in that thing. Look at that.
yeah. Um, Vancouver is a big titanium fan.
Oh
Lighter, thank
yes.
Mr. Foss, Rick Foss. Hi, I'm new here. Can't get enough watch talk. Well, you come to the right place.
Thank you.
Um, Colin thinks this is sexy. Wow, wow. Mr. Finney, ALS can cause the expletives to fly. Yeah.
That might be one of the nicest movements I've laid
Uh,
eyes on. That is,
yeah.
yep, that's beautiful.
That Longa is quite nice, but I'd still get the rose gold Laurent Ferrier Sport Auto. Okay, yeah. Hey,
Well,
listen, get both. Um, yeah. Okay. Looks like Wilson found Colin. Okay, they found each other. Good. Kara Joy, there's Wilson. Okay. Um, let's move on to the next timepiece. And another favorite of mine, I guess I've been trending the last couple years with this like rose pink kind of gold, honey
yeah.
gold look. I've been enjoying these kind of releases a little bit more. I think that's a sign that I'm getting old. This is the JLC
Retirement
tribute.
watch.
Yeah, right. Tribute monoface small seconds, 18 pink gold carat gold with a Milanese link bracelet, golden dial with granular texture. It's powered by the in-house caliber 822. And Tom, he said he had one word to describe this. He was like, absolutely exquisite watch, divine. So more than one word, but hey, I totally get what he's saying. I love this one too.
Yeah.
What about you, Clayton?
Yep, love this. Love this one. I'm seriously considering like my next big purchase, probably next year. Might be a Reverso. Got to try
Ooh,
them on when I went to visit my AD, and kind of fell in love.
wow.
There's so many to choose from. That's the thing. And do you buy it pre-owned or new? That's the other choice.
That's definitely, and it's good on you for trying them because I know I mean I've heard some stories where people are just like, okay, I'm getting a Reverso, and then they go and try it on and it just doesn't, they can't find one
Yeah,
the right shape to fit them, you know.
right. Yeah, there's
Um,
so many choices. And yeah, you have to obviously this style, this shape of watch is going to wear differently. So yeah, you have to try them on. I think it's pretty important. But yeah, I mean, gosh, with they've raised prices so many times, and just that one I tried on was you got to go for the duo face. I think.
Yeah,
Um, so that one was like 14 grand. I'm sure I could do better on the
yeah,
secondary market, but
yeah. We've been saying if he's getting along, it won't be the Odysseus. Okay, fair enough. Starting to enjoy and appreciate soup more. Well, is
thank
that a
you.
question? Okay. Um, that JLC's pure sex. Okay. All right. We're
Yeah.
getting a little. It's after 9 o'clock. Okay, that's fine. You can talk like that. And it's Rick. Enjoy. Hey, evening, fellas.
Hello,
Oh, evening
sir.
to you. Go pre-owned for the reverso, Clayton.
Yeah.
That's what NH Rick is saying to us. Okay. Next time piece is another great one of my favorite releases. Again, the Patek Philippe 6196P-001 Calatrava. This was the most timeless and elegant of the Calatrava releases this year. 38 millimeter platinum with a vintage touch, salmon dial. Contrasted with dark hands and indices, a new manually wound 3255 PS movement. Um, got the power reserve, stop second functionality here on this one. And look, I'm not necessarily a huge Calatrava fan. I appreciate the timeless look of it. But this one struck me, and I just like the hands and indices. Really makes a difference to me, and
No
it just
kidding.
yeah, and
Awesome.
it just like pops with that dial. I don't know. I love it, Clayton. What about you?
Yeah, me too. I'm with you on the Calatrava, but yeah, I love the hands and indices on this. It kind of like modern and classic clashing here a little bit, like in my eye. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yep, beautiful.
Um, Vancouver, loving this paddock. And it's like tried that Calatrava on
Oh
last
man.
week in New York. It's incredible. Wow. Wow. Could you have bought it? I mean, no, what I mean is, was it available for sale?
Right. When I
So
tried the Cubitus on at my AD in New Jersey, when I went there in the November,
yeah.
I tried it on and she said, it's sold. And I was like handling it like, oh gosh, I don't want to. She's like, oh, it's just a watch. Come on, go ahead. I was like, yeah, just a watch.
Yeah, just
Buy
a
it, you break it.
yeah. Miss Casio, how you doing? Uh Rick's like, no, no. It was okay.
Rick's collection is baller these days, though, for
Yeah.
sure.
Eric is he likes the paddock a lot. Hey, Scotty Brain, good to see you. Salmon color dress watch can't go wrong. Agreed.
Hmm.
Agreed on that one. Um, I came close to buying the Tissot 1938 chronometer. Chronometer. And that also has a salmon dial with some vintagey dark indices. It kind of reminded me a little bit of this
Oh
this
yeah,
watch too.
yeah.
Um, Wayben's here. He's saying if I'm going to get a nosebleed high end dress watch, I'll get a Longa one, not a Calatrava. Fair enough. Fair enough. I like the Longa one too. I'd probably go Longa one before I go Calatrava as well. Um, is it an auto? If it's not an auto, small crown is okay. I think no, it's a manually wound. It's manually wound on this one.
Yeah, that crown
Uh
does look kind of hard to grip.
yeah, yeah. My skin and salmon tones don't always go together. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's not for everybody, right? That
I
colorway.
have that grown that's completely salmon, and yeah, that's my first salmon watch, and
Yeah.
really cool. Plus, there's like a texture to that dial, which is cool too.
Right, right. Um, okay. Going into IWC, many releases focusing more on the IWC. A time was the Engineer Automatic with the black ceramic and the Engineer Perpetual Calendar 41s. The Engineer line, the new iteration of it, this new 40 millimeter Engineer that came out about a year or two ago, has really grown on me as well. Like I like the older ones. They're huge though. But the newer ones, I was like, oh, okay. It's like kind of like still, you got that integrated sports. Like, it looked like a lot of other watches to me. They're growing on me. They're growing on me. And I definitely like this, the black ceramic and all the great tech that this one has, and of course, this is a beautiful perpetual calendar. What do you think overall over the new iteration of the Ingeneurs, Clayton? Are you a fan?
Yes, I am. I think if I were to enter the you know, this sort of market with the integrated bracelet, it'd be between this and the Laureato. I like
Ah, yeah,
these a lot. Yeah,
yeah,
I've come close a couple times when they've come up like pre-owned. Like, what can I do to move my collection around? So
yeah,
I get the titanium one.
yeah,
I just love titanium watches. So, but yeah, I think they're really nice, and I've seen them in person, and they're really great. Yep,
yeah, yeah, for
yep.
sure. Okay, and finally, and this one, Clayton, I'm gonna tee you up for this one because you recently have
Oh yes,
received your Nomos Club Sports World Timer. Hey,
there it
tell
is.
us about this one. Oh yeah, let's get you a no, no, let's get you a solo layout. Go ahead, come
Sure.
on.
See if I can get it to focus here. We'll take the
Yeah,
light off and
you're
then we'll
close. You're close. You're close.
yeah, but
Focus.
I don't know. But anyway, it's
Yeah, sorry.
yep, so I told the story at the beginning, but it was I never really considered Nomos ever. Didn't really know much about them even. They were just sort of there. Never really excited me. And then when this one came out, Watches and Wonders, I loved the complication. Yeah, I've had the Vogard that has a similar complication where you move something and the hour hand moves to the corresponding time zone. I love that stuff.
Yeah,
Something to fidget with. And yeah, it's a great watch. Just got it in last Friday. Uh, really fun, satisfying to press that pusher. There's a little hidden pusher at 8 o'clock for you to move independently move the hour hand because when you pull the crown out, the hour hand and the sub dial move together. So
yeah,
to set the home time here, if you want to set it on the sub dial, you hit the pusher at 8 o'clock, and it does not affect the sub dial when you move the hour hand. Great release. I'm not going to wear it on the bracelet. The
mm,
bracelet's fine. Just with the PCLs, it's just not really my vibe with this watch. But yeah, wearing it on nylon or leather, really anything else. Yeah, super fun. Super fun.
awesome, awesome. Congrats again on that one. Let's catch up with some of the chat here. Wilson loves that ceramic IWC. Rick is saying, I like that they fixed the 3 o'clock date half marker on the 42 ceramic IWC. Of the 40, it seems like the other movement needed to squish in there. Uh, Clayton loving the Nomos. So is KR Joy loving the Nomos as well. Yeah, and look, there was a couple of other watches that he had put in there. It's just like it was just I wasn't really interested in talking about Oris or Belova. I'm sure it was a pretty cool Finissimo, but I just been there, done
Yeah.
that with those
Yeah.
anyway. But I
What do
think
you
we.
think of the Nomos? Did you like it? You
Oh
because
yeah, I mean
you do
I
love
love it.
German watches.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I think it's very, very cool. I like the other world timer as well. I like the club. I'm a big fan of the club line,
Hmm.
right? And so for me, this is a home run. I mean, I'm not a big fan of all the colors. Actually, I was kind of taken back a little bit when I saw all the colors array, that they made available, and I only found like a couple that were just to me home runs. But I think fun. It's funny. They've all grown on me. Like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I'll never be able to get one. I mean, I think I just don't. I have other priorities,
Right.
watch priorities. But it's a great watch. It's a great watch, and I know like two, three, four people who are you know trying their darndest to get one as well. So it was a fan favorite release. So yeah, no, a great watch, man. Great watch.
And now they have this movement. I imagine next Watches and Wonders, they'll probably do something else. Maybe new colors or something. Yeah, the colors are bold,
Yeah,
which
they
is
are
I think is fun. You can do any kind of strap with it too, because there's like 5 different colors on the dial. So you want to do a
absolutely.
blue with it, you can do that. You want to do like an orange, you want to get
Hmm.
really funky, you can do that. So there's a lot
Which is
going on.
which is surprising, for a German watch brand, not necessarily for Nomos, because Nomos we've seen them do sort of this, you know, um, experimentation with colors and dials and across the model lines. Not as to me, not as bold as this one, but it was probably the logical step to do it, especially with this timepiece. I think it's very very interesting, and the way they limited each piece to like 175. I think that's just smart, just smart.
Yeah, and they
You
are
know.
numbered on the back too. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if they were,
Mm.
but yeah, they are.
Oh wow.
Yep. Yep.
And as you mentioned, trading above retail right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Bancru loves that black Angenour.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
that's nice.
Great Nomos reference on bracelet. Um, cool, cool. Hey man, what do you got going on for this holiday weekend? It's July 4th
Oh,
here in the States.
nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing big. Catch up on a few things. We'll probably do a fire. I've had some
yeah,
branches fall in my yard and
yeah, yeah,
cut them up, and now we just have all this wood for fire pits. So it's going to be hot, but
yeah,
yeah. Well, I think Friday night we'll. Our dogs are like terrified of fireworks, so we'll probably hold on to the dogs or maybe drug them
yeah.
and do a fire. How about you
Yeah,
guys? Parade or
yeah.
anything?
No, I mean nothing. I mean, like we may. I don't know. We don't really have anything planned. We don't have. There might. I think there might be like a birthday party on the Sunday for like one of my kids' classmates. But like on the 4th itself, I think we're just gonna stay home and barbecue at home. And what, me and Mrs. Legs, we got a lot to catching up with the property.
Yeah.
Landscaping and stuff like that. Like I started. This week, with the whacker, the weed whacker,
Mm,
going in
yep.
places. So, this is the
Yep.
fun part of the live stream is when we talk about like, our chores that we got to catch up on,
Yeah.
you know. Anyway, hey, look, Clayton, thanks again, man,
Yeah.
for,
Awesome.
for, for today's
Awesome
evening.
being back.
Yeah. Chat. Awesome as usual. Thanks for the participation. You guys are great. It's Friday, July 4th. I'm probably not going to be doing a weekend review on Friday. Maybe I'll push that back to Saturday or Sunday, probably Sunday. So be on the lookout for that. And guys, have a great rest of the week. Have a safe July 4th week for those who celebrate. And yeah, take care. Good night.
Happy 4th.